when did you start writing and who kind of got you into it? I know there's stuff in here from when you were 18, from when you were in high school.
That's probably when I started writing longer form poems. And that was a year in Australia where I was one of those times I was lost and wobbly and looking and trying to figure, didn't have friends to rely on, didn't have family to rely on. So I started, dude, I was losing my mind in a good way. I was writing 16-page letters to myself.
Dang.
And returning them with a 17-page letter.
No way, bro. What?
Yeah, bro. Socratic dialogue. I was going, hey, man, we got to entertain ourselves. I ain't got no one else to go to, so let's have this out. And so
What is strange? I mean, it's cool. It's strange. It's unique.
Oh, it's strange, and I'm
it's
glad.
Unique. Sorry, I think
it was hard. No, that's strange.
So, what were the letters? Were you saying like
trying to work shit out?
Yeah,
I was losing my mind. I didn't know what. I didn't have a compass, man. Everything around me was odd, and I didn't know if I agreed with it or disagreed with it, or if it was just a cultural difference, or if it was bullshit, or
just getting to know yourself.
And I didn't know where to stand until I got pushed to where I had to make a stand. And boy, when I had to make a stand, when this host family wanted me to call them mom and pop, and I went, no. I'm not going to do that. I appreciate you thinking of me that way, but I still have my mom and dad. And I remember at the time why I said this part, I do not know, but it was like I thought it would ease the blow a little bit. I remember saying this. I was like, no, I have a mom and dad, and they're still alive.
Yeah.
I gave them this little context, just in case. Like, what the hell does that matter? Anyway, and to make that stand and go, no. And then call them, say goodnight and call them by their first names, and then wake up the next morning, my alarm clock was a screaming woman going, he won't call me mom. Going, oh, shit. And then going to her and going, no, I won't. But putting an arm around her and going,
Creating some boundaries for yourself, figuring it.
I had to create a boundary. That's it. I was trying, and so to do that is part of, I think, a big part of identity. And so I started writing, I'd written since I was probably 12, but I started writing poems and jotting down prayers and things when I was, like I said, lost, wobbly, and looking, but also times where things were going well and I felt spiritually strong and going like, well, what are some habits I got right now? What are some ways I'm seeing the world where the world seems to be, I'm putting this out of my soul and it's music and the world's kind of throwing back the next beat right at me and we got a tune going.
Yeah.
And then I stepped in shit. Oh, well, that's part of the tune.
Right.
They laughed at my joke. Hey, that's part of the tune too. Oh, they were crickets. They didn't laugh. Hip, that's still part of the same song. Right,
so, it's all part of the same song, yeah. Instead of trying to get this song, like just the perfect song, just recognize it's a long song.
It's a long song. Yeah. And so poems and prayers, look, I'm trying to sell Sunday morning like a Saturday night. Meaning there's a lot of good stuff. Whether it's you're bringing up stuff in the Bible that has a lot of good stuff for living. There's a lot of good things we've learned from mentors and other philosophers and great books and wisdoms of the past that we're told to do. And I know this, no one really likes to be told what to do most of the time. And we also don't really like to get advice. I don't like getting advice. I tell every director I work with, I tell them right off the bat, I'm easy to work with. Just don't tell me what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? or and then I tell them, even like that, you find a way to make me think it was my idea.
There you go. All right? That's
I'll even know you did it, but don't tell me. And I'll just go, there you go. That's right. You know what I mean? But if you can put it in a rhyme, if it can have a bit of a ditty to it, if you can dance to it, and it's a good word, it's more fun to digest it. It makes the broccoli taste like candy.
Yeah.
And you go like, oh, okay, I can have a beer on the way to the temple. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I'd rather have a beer on the way to the temple and be headed to the temple than say I'm abstaining from having a beer, but headed the wrong direction to the desert.
Right. Yeah, I never liked taking suggestions. It's always been hard for me, I think. Well, it's tough in your life when things go pretty good sometimes to like want to relinquish the wheel,
Hell yeah. But at the same time, when things are going well, you're responsible for that. Don't give up the right to believe in